Hi, welcome to the Spookins channel. I'm Sarah.
And I am Sam. This is just a little place for us to come and talk all things horror. So your movies, your TV, your film, those are the same thing. Your games, be that board games or video games, books, anything in between.
Yeah, we just love horror and we just want to talk about it. So
Exactly.
here we are.
We want to share our thoughts with you guys and have you guys share our thoughts, share your thoughts with us.
Yeah.
This is going to be our tier list of 2024 new releases that
Yeah.
we went and saw in the cinema. So it's only movies that we saw in the cinema.
Yeah. So the tiers are as follows. First one is Banger. So that is just kind of self-explanatory. Great movie. Would recommend. 10 out of 10. Loved it. Next we've got Missing That One Thing. So these are movies that were really great, but we're just missing that one thing to make it like excellent and like a banger.
Below that one, we have Worth a Watch. So these are movies that are good, and we would recommend if someone was kind of struggling for things to watch, but it wouldn't be top of our recommendations list. After that, we have Background Noise. So these are movies that have a place and put them on, but maybe do something else. Don't concentrate fully. If you're cleaning your house or playing a little game, have it on at the side, and it will bring you some joy at least.
Yeah, you can definitely scroll through your phone while you're watching this movie, the movies in this category. Next we got Skip It. Just kind of not great. Wouldn't really recommend. Not movies that are like really bad, but just we wouldn't really recommend them. And then lastly, we've got Trash Goblin, which is movies that should live in the trash as a trash goblin, because they were just really bad.
Yep, exactly that.
Oh, not really bad. We just really didn't enjoy them.
Weren't to our taste.
Yes, wasn't made
There
for
we
me,
go.
and
Yeah,
thus
not
I
for
did
us.
not enjoy
Maybe
it.
we will change it. We won't change it because Trash Goblin is a great name for a tier.
No,
but
I think Trash Goblin
of it
works.
as not for us.
Not for me personally.
Yeah, not for it.
So if you're a fan of any of the Trash Goblin films, don't take it personally. Just didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, Sarah and I
Okay.
we don't agree on all of the
No.
movies. So when we come to those, we will find
We'll work it
middle
out.
ground, or one of us will win out based on stuff, basically.
I feel like we're gonna have a 1-for-1 scenario. So there'll be like one where I'm like, no, it's a banger. I will allow you one banger in return. That kind of thing.
I'm just noticing as well, we didn't see all of these at the cinema. Some of them were not released at the cinema. For example, I see Don't Move is there, which is obviously a Netflix movie. In those cases, they're just new releases.
Yeah.
We start with the first one. These have uploaded in a random order, and it is The Watched.
Or the Watchers, if you're
I think
in
it's
the
The
US.
Watchers in the US, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they decided to do that.
No.
So yeah, The Watch, I mean, it was okay.
It was
I
okay,
think
yeah.
it was alright. I would say it was worth a watch.
I like Dakota Fanning. I was leaning to Worth a Watch
Yeah.
initially, which is where I hovered.
I think
very happy
if
to
you
throw it in
have
there.
it as background noise, it's not like it's too confusing, but you might. You
It's a
might
bit
miss
involved, isn't
something,
it?
Yeah, I think it's a film that benefits from paying attention to it and not having it on in the background.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'd say worth a watch.
yeah, definitely worth a watch.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the first kind of 2/3 a lot, and then as soon as the third act came, I was kind of like, eh. I'm gonna try not to spoil these movies because they are quite new.
Yeah.
So I'll talk quite vaguely, but yeah, the kind of final act of this movie wasn't for me. Do you agree?
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with
Yeah.
that assessment of The Watched. I think worth a watch for sure if you're struggling for things and you see it pop up on a streaming service. I would not go out my way to find it though.
No.
So
No.
worth a watch.
Yeah.
Abigail is next.
Yeah.
Which I
what
think
did you
probably
think about Abigail?
I think I would probably put it in the same place. I think it's worth a watch. It's the type of movie where it could flutter between worth a watch
Yeah,
and
I
background
was gonna
noise because
say.
it is an easy watch and there's some kind of comedic moments. There's characters that are played for comedy. There are some really, really cool bits, some really fun bits.
True.
But in between all of those cool and fun bits, there are some not so cool and not so fun bits.
I think as well, it really suffered from spoiling itself.
It did. It ruined itself with
would
the
have
trailers
been-
and the marketing material.
Yeah, it would have been really fun to go into like a home invasion movie and then like, oh my gosh, it's a vampire movie.
Yeah.
Because I love vampire movies. I love vampires, but this for me, I would put it in background noise, but I'm okay with it being in worth a
Yeah,
watch.
I think worth a watch. I think there's a couple of the cast in this movie do a really good job.
Yeah.
And I think it would be harsh to kind of put it in background noise. I can't remember the girl's name.
The girl that plays Abigail.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name either, but she was in Matilda.
Yeah, Matilda.
Matilda was great.
She's great.
Unfortunately, I'm so sorry we can't remember her name. We're both famously bad with names.
We are.
Film titles, album titles, anything like that. So
Yeah, look, Catherine Newton is good in this movie as well, although
Yes.
probably slightly miscast.
I think she's too good in the movie. I think the movie itself couldn't decide what tone it wanted, and it cast Catherine Newton, which gives a certain tone.
Yeah.
And I don't think it matched the tone.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But she does a really good job with what she's given. It's just whether it fits in the movie for you. And I'm not quite sure it did.
Yeah, like she has that whole kind of scene to herself where she's like dancing. And I thought, this is cool. And she's doing a really good job, but that doesn't really belong in this movie that I'm watching. So yeah, worth a watch is fine by me. It's okay.
Cuckoo. You can start on Cuckoo.
Cuckoo, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I quite enjoyed Cuckoo, but I also didn't at the same time. I think it's missing that one thing.
Oh, you think it's that high?
Yeah, I think it's missing that one thing.
Okay.
I really enjoyed the plot. Again, it's kind of similar to The Watched, but I enjoyed Cuckoo more, I think. It's the final act. I just wanted a bit more from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? Because you were going to put it lower.
I was thinking you were going to put it lower. I was hovering where I thought you were going to put
okay.
that. And I probably would go lower. I just don't particularly remember. Like, it doesn't stick
Fair.
in my brain. I
That's
remember
totally
while
fair.
we were watching it, I remember kind of checking the time and checking for
Yeah.
messages, and
Well, we can put
it wasn't keeping me attached. Like, I don't believe there's one thing I could add to that movie that would
Okay.
make me put it in
Well,
banger.
then why don't we put it in worth a watch?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll compromise because from what you're saying, it's background noise. And what I'm saying is missing that one thing.
Yeah,
and we'll meet in the middle.
I think background noise would be really harsh, but
Yeah, but I think
I almost
for the,
think we need something in between those, but that's where Cuckoo would fall for me.
Yeah, I think I'm missing that one thing for the first, I don't know, 2/3 of the movie. The final act is background noise to me. It completely changes into a different kind of movie
Yeah.
that I don't enjoy so much. So I think worth a watch, put it in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
What we got now?
Don't Move is next,
Yeah.
which I am dropping into Skip It.
Yeah, it's not great.
No, this is one of those where you think of a premise, someone thinks of a premise and they're like, oh my God, I've got it here. And then when it comes to making it, you kind of realize the limitations of the premise you've given yourself, and you end up making the same movie 4 times and then
Yeah.
bunching them all together and calling it one film.
Yeah, it's very short movie made long. I don't know if it was a short film, but it feels like that to me, like like a very short premise. It probably like a 20-minute movie because that's how long she has, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like a 20-minute short
Yeah.
film that's made just way too long.
Yeah, I would maybe if you put this on, I would maybe watch it until like the first thing that feels like an ending, and then
Yeah.
call it the ending.
It just doesn't
Yeah.
end this film.
And it just keeps restarting itself, and you get the
Yeah,
exact
it
same
just
thing, just
keeps
copy and
going.
pasted. We have
Okay.
I Saw the TV Glow.
Banger.
Banger.
Straight banger.
Straight banger.
No, straight banger. This
Yeah.
film is incredible.
It's a fantastic movie. Definitely hunt it down and find it. I know, especially in the UK where we are, this film is really hard to find.
It is, yeah.
But if you can, go and find it because it is an amazing film. The character study is just done so brilliantly.
Yeah. We both ranked it in our top 5 of the year.
We did.
I think I had it at number 2.
Yeah, and I think it may have
Or
been at 2 or
3.
3 in mine as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I had 2 or 3 on mine. It's just really good. And I think as well it hits a a specific interest area for me. So I think, yeah, it was a really interesting movie. 10 out of 10. Watch it.
Nice.
I feel like we didn't say anything meaningful on that, but it's just so good, and I feel like you can't.
There's not a lot to say.
You can't say anything about this movie without spoiling this movie. So just watch it, man. Just watch it.
Also, I saw a fun drinking game for this movie, if you like that kind of thing.
What for? Which one?
For I Saw the TV Glow, where you take a shot every time you hear the pink opaque. So there's one for you as well. There's one for you as well if you want to have a go.
Next,
Don't say I sent that. Don't say that was my idea, though.
So next we got Longlegs, and I feel like we might come to blows over this one. So we saw Longlegs in the cinema, and we went to see it with my sister, and I loved every second of that movie. Maybe not every second. I feel like I would probably put it in missing that one thing.
Yeah.
But I loved Longlegs. I love Michael Monroe. I love Nicolas Cage. I love things set in that time period where it's like police, like it's just my kind of thing. You know?
This
it's
feels like a movie made for you.
Made for me.
Yeah. And they still didn't get Banger.
No.
They tried so hard with you.
Tried really hard to hit every niche I have. No, I did love Longlegs, but I did give it a 9 out of 10 in my ranking for the year. I couldn't tell you what that one thing is. I don't know. There's just like, oh no, little thing. Whereas you've put it in Skip It.
Yeah, I put it in Skip It. I mean, partially just because I'm trying not to have my hand click down on a mouse button through the entire video. But also because it's probably where I would put it. I found this movie really boring, really long. Michael Monroe did some really good work and tried her best to carry it, but couldn't for me.
Fair. So we're not leaving it in Skip It.
No, we won't leave it in Skip It. I'm happy to let you have it if you want it to go up there.
I want it in Miss That One Thing.
Okay,
I
we'll drop it in there.
We can put it in there because when we came out of that, you said, I can tell that was a really good film, it just wasn't for me.
And that's exactly what I was about to say, yeah. Like, that is exactly it. It is a good movie, and I 100% know it's a good movie. Like, you can watch it and appreciate everything it's doing and trying to do. Those things just don't land for me, and that's where taste comes in.
Yeah, you can't like everything, can you? As I say, I feel like that movie was made specifically for me, whereas it wasn't made specifically for you.
Yep.
And that's fine. Sometimes that's how it goes. I was severely disappointed that both of them didn't like it. And I loved it. But that's fine. That's what happens sometimes.
Yeah. Next up, we have Time Cut.
Oh, background noise. Like, not even...
Background noise.
Question. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think it's worse than background noise.
Oh, I just think it's inoffensive.
It's inoffensive.
I mean?
Yeah. Like it is background noise because it's just that kind of movie. It's like they made it with the intention of being background noise.
It's not.
It's if you've seen Totally Killer, it is just watch Totally Killer again.
Yeah.
Like it's Totally Killer, but like quite a bit worse. So
I don't even think it's bad. I just think it's boring. It just doesn't. It's like, I don't know how to explain it, but I just think it's a very inoffensive movie. Stick it in the background. You'll get some giggles if you're our age out of the 2000s.
See, I don't even think the references are good. I don't think they did them well. I just thought, I was thinking like Totally Killer. I just think all of the references and the nostalgia stuff just lands so much better.
But do you think that's because that is nostalgia for an age that we don't have, whereas Time Cut is nostalgia for our age?
So we find it a bit cringe, I don't know.
Yeah, or we're looking more at the accuracy of it.
Yeah, maybe.
Because if you say that you didn't think the references for Time Cut were good or like accurate or whatever, we weren't there in the 80s, and someone from the 80s is probably like, no,
that's fair enough.
Sucks for being accurate to the 80s.
Yeah, maybe.
Because like Time Cut does, like, not everyone's wearing juicy velour tracksuits or whatever they were called. Especially not in the UK. It was all, what was it, Jane Norman bags and JD sport bags.
There you go.
Yeah. I think I was like 9 in 2003. It's 2003, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't really have known the high school stuff anyway. But yeah, I just think it's background noise. I think there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing good about it either. So it's fine.
Maxine.
I would say worth a watch.
Yeah, I worth a watch because it's part of a trilogy which is like, I mean, it divides people quite heavily from film to film. All three films are very different from each other.
Yes.
One of them I really like. One of them I didn't like at all. And this one falls somewhere in the middle, I think.
See, I think for me, Maxine's my favourite in the trilogy.
Okay.
But again, it hits my areas of interest more than the other two.
Late Night with the Devil is up the top.
Yeah,
we're going banger for Late Night with the Devil.
The Late Night with the Devil was my number one movie from 2024. I loved it.
This movie made my top 5. I think it was 5th for me as the movies that we saw last year. It is fantastic and it is great. And it's different as well. It's just not like anything I've seen really ever, which is really nice and refreshing. We've just had a lot of that in horror over the past few years. Just the horror has just been so good.
It has been really
and you can
good.
see by the kind of weight of the tier list so far.
Yeah, it was a good year last year. Yeah, Late Night was definitely, like, the main character, Jack Delroy. Really interesting character, and it's so nice to finally see, oh my god, I don't know his name, the actor's name, in a main character role, because he's one of those guys where it's like, I've seen him in it and I didn't know his name, as I just did.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, with apologies.
We're sorry to you.
We're sorry,
if
sir.
you're there.
We can't remember your name, but
Yeah.
I can remember your character's
You're great,
name.
yeah.
It's so good in it, and it's so good to have him in a starring role because he carries that film. Everyone else is really good, but the whole film rests on his back. As I say, I've never really seen like talk show horror. Is that what we would call it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I would highly recommend.
Romulus, Alien Romulus.
Um,
I will drop in worth a watch. For me, this hovers between worth a watch and missing that one thing, probably. I know you didn't like this movie
no,
that
I
much.
know. I'm just letting you say your thoughts.
But I really enjoyed it. And that's from someone who, my first experience of Alien was very recently. I have only seen the original movie, and Covenant was my first Alien movie I saw, which I went to see with my dad at the cinema. Yeah. So this isn't a franchise where, like, I gatekeep it at all for any. Yeah, I don't have that loyalty. So for me, that was kind of going to this fresh, and I just really enjoyed this movie.
I think that's totally fair, and I wouldn't say that I didn't like it because I'm an Alien fan. I would say it had similar vibes to the original Alien film, so it's not that I don't like it out of brand loyalty to Alien and being one of those people that's like, oh, it just isn't as good as the original, because whilst it's not as good as the original, that's not my beef with it. I just thought it was really boring. I found myself, we went to sit in the cinema with our friends, and they are huge Alien fans, aren't they? And they really enjoyed it, and I was like, love that for them. Like, I'm happy for you. I wish I loved it that much because I do like Alien. I just thought it was really boring. I just found myself like just kind of checking the time to see when I could leave. It just wasn't for me, to be honest. And that's fine because that's taste. That's taste, baby.
Again. Moving on. Probably need to talk less about them, maybe a little bit. I feel it's going to be long, but we'll see. Moving on. Subservience is next. Subservience, the Megan Fox robot movie, is worth a watch.
Okay. I was literally about to say definition of background noise.
Definition of background noise. I enjoyed this movie more than background noise. it's
We
the
can
kind of
leave it
movie
there.
you could definitely use as background noise. Like it doesn't require concentration. But I think it's better than it has any right to be.
Oh,
To be honest,
absolutely.
Megan Fox is great as a robot with no emotions. Don't know
Yeah.
what that says about Megan Fox, but we love Megan Fox.
We do love Megan Fox. We love the girlies. Yeah, it's much better than it has any right to be, but the place it rightfully should be is Trash Goblin. So being better than it has the right to be, could put it anywhere. And yeah, I'll leave it in worth a watch.
I think
That's
it's worth. I
fine.
think it's worth a watch.
I think if I was going to watch it again, background noise.
Oh, okay,
wouldn't-
definitely. If I watched it again, if I was recommending for someone to watch this, I would expect them to watch it like with a phone in hand, and that's
Yeah.
fine. But I don't necessarily think that means it has to be background noise.
No, it doesn't.
I think a movie can be as good as worth a watch and still be background noise.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'll let you have that one.
The Substance is up there. Not up
Not
there.
there.
Substance is up there. The Substance.
Imagine we put it in Skip It. Oh
Skip
my
it.
god.
Skip it. Substance is
cancelled.
was my number one movie of last year. I love
Yeah.
this movie. This movie was perfect. This is my favorite horror movie of all time. I am fairly new to the horror genre, and I didn't watch it so much until me and Sarah got together. Since then, I've kind of been trying to catch up on some old ones and watching all the new ones, and we've got through a few.
We have.
The Substance is the best one.
And that's fair. I obviously loved The Substance. It's hard not to. It's such a good movie. Another movie that kind of fails to end, but I did really enjoy it. So I wouldn't say it was the perfect movie for me, but I'll allow it in banger. I can't think of anything. I can't think of like missing that one thing. There's not really anything missing from it. Both performances great. Yeah. we'll
Give
just
the
leave-
me the Oscar. Come on, the Academy.
Come
What are
on.
you doing, the Academy?
Recognize the stuff.
We haven't seen it yet. I don't know when this is going out. Probably won't have any.
The pronunciation there.
Probably won't have any nominations and things yet. But give it to Demi.
Yeah, give it
Demi.
to me.
Give it to Demi.
Next one.
Tarot.
Oh, Trash Goblin.
Trash Goblin.
Yeah, there are 2 movies that are why this category was made.
Yeah.
And
There might be 3. There might be 4. There might be
Okay.
4 movies in
Alright.
Trash Goblin.
Alright. I thought Tarot was. I think I put it as like the 3rd worst movie of 2024.
It was around there, yeah.
Yeah.
There were quite a few that we gave a 0 out of 10 or a 1 out of 10. This was one of them.
This was one of them.
This is a premise where you could make it and you could have got 11 films out of it and all of them be perfectly fine and fun. This will not get another one, hopefully,
No.
because they didn't make it perfectly fine and fun.
No, it's boring.
This is the worst case as well of like dumb character syndrome.
Oh,
Not a
goodness.
single decision made in this movie makes any logical
No.
sense, and it is just so hard to get over.
Yeah.
Strange Darling.
I have thoughts on Strange Darling. I think it is worth a watch. I don't think it's background noise. I wouldn't recommend you skip it, and it's not Trash Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it is worth a watch.
Yeah, I think I know there are a lot of people who really like this movie,
there are,
and
yeah.
I understand why, and I know it's worth a watch to people, and I would recommend it because I know there are people out there who would really like this.
100%.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I don't have any strong opinions either way, really, on this movie.
Yeah.
But worth a watch.
Kyle Garner is great. I don't know if I said that right. Sorry. Sorry, Kyle. So I think he's great, but he's great in literally everything he's in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was okay.
I
really enjoyed the first bit. It was a film that had its twist, and that was the main focal point of the film, was getting to the twist. So getting from A to B was kind of a slog. I didn't like some of the messaging I thought it gave off. I just didn't love it. I know people did. I just didn't.
I will not have a movie name a character the demon, never tell me why they've done that, and leave me thinking the only reason you've done that is to back your twist up.
Yeah.
Literally the only thing.
Literally, because I'm going to go slightly into spoiler territory here. So if you don't want to know anything about this movie, skip.
Skip on. I'll put my hand down once the spoiler's over.
When I'm done. Okay.
Please don't talk for very long, because my arm will hurt.
So they called him the demon to make you think that he's the bad guy. And then the demon is not even what she refers to the thing in her head as. It's the devil. So why not name the character the devil so then it at least makes sense within the plot?
Mm-hmm.
You've literally just called him the demon so that people will think he's the bad guy. You can lower your hand now. Spoilers over. I feel like you can't really talk about this movie without spoiling it. So it's just okay.
Yep.
Some sketchy messaging, I'd say, at some points, but it's all right.
Next up, we have Oddity.
Skip it.
Oddity is a skip it, for sure.
All right. In a Violent
Nature
Oh, no, is that me?
is Trash Goblin.
I don't think it's Trash
It's
Goblin.
Trash Goblin.
I can appreciate the art of the movie, but I did not like it. It's another one with a premise that doesn't provide.
Yes, it is. Yeah, yes, it's another one where, and I've thought of this before. I was actually in my school days. I was going to write a horror novel. It was from the perspective of the killer, because it's a really good idea.
It is.
And it's another one where when you come to making it, you kind of are like, oh, they spend all their time walking through a forest.
Yeah, it's just a baffling choice of killer to choose for the perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's not like Jason, but it is, isn't it? We're following Jason.
Yeah, we're following Jason.
Camp Crystal Lake for ages, and then there's that bizarre monologue at the end. Yeah, I think I just...
Yeah, if...
And I know that people love this movie, but personally for me, I wouldn't recommend it.
No, I absolutely could not recommend this movie, just because I would feel like if I recommended this to someone who wasn't the 20% of people who are going to like this, that's a really random, rough number. I'm sorry if that's wrong, which it probably is. I would feel really bad for having recommended it, because I know how boring it can be if you don't like it.
Yes. We did
Walking
finish
Simulator is not a video game I would play, and it's not a movie I want to watch.
We did finish it, though.
We did. I don't know how. This is the movie that I'm most surprised we finished.
Yeah, and you always think we didn't, because you always ask me about the ending of it, and I'm like, no, we literally watched it.
Yeah.
Unlike the next one on the list.
It's a true Trash Goblin.
Here's a true Trash Goblin.
There you go. That's the Crow remake, for anyone who can't see that.
Yeah, the Crow remake is bad. Hot take.
Very bad. Really, really bad.
We didn't finish it.
We didn't finish it.
And it sounds like we left before the only good scene in the film.
Yeah, we barely made it to the Crow's existing.
He's not, it's just bad. I gave it a 1 out of 10 because I really like the jacket.
Yeah, it was a good jacket.
Costume department.
The jacket up to score.
It's like a furry jacket that they both wear. Is it feathery or something like that? And I loved it, and that's why it got a 1. But we didn't finish it because it sucks.
Trap.
Come on, banger.
Trap. Trap is a banger.
I know a lot of people hated this film, but we loved it.
I love this movie. This is my favourite Shyamalan movie, I think, probably.
That's fair.
I really enjoyed it. I like the I like that concert feel to the movie. I know a lot of it. I think a lot of people were complaining that it feels like a concert movie with some other stuff kind of thrown in. But I really enjoyed that vibe.
Sam loves Lady Pop.
I love Lady Pop. I won't show you because under my jumper I have a Lady Raven tour t-shirt on right now.
Literally wearing a Lady Raven
but
top
it's
now.
freezing, so we won't.
It is cold. So yeah, leave your clothes on.
It's What's Inside is next. The Netflix body swap.
I really enjoyed this, but I would put it in missing that one thing.
I would as well. And I think that I don't know. I haven't really looked up any audience reaction for this movie.
No,
I
I
don't
don't know if
really know
people
how
liked
people
it.
feel about this movie. I feel like people might think that's a bit high.
I don't know.
But yeah, we really enjoyed it. I
Really
think it's
liked all
done
the
really well.
characters. Yeah, it had Nick from the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina in it, and I
did.
love him.
Yeah.
Um,
Had Alicia Debnam Carey, who I am a fan of from The 100.
yeah, and it was just a fun, but also not fun at the same time, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Just a fun body swap movie. Like, I don't normally like body swap, like doppelganger
Yeah.
kind of stuff. I hate things that are based on misunderstandings. Do you know what I mean? But I really enjoyed It's What's Inside. The characters were all really good.
Yeah, and the body swapping itself is done in a really clever way in this movie, where they overlay clips of the actual character who's speaking in like this red light. So you can see the actual characters having a conversation even if they're not in their own bodies.
Yeah.
So it really helps you kind of keep track with what's going on. Whereas a lot of obviously body swap stuff can get confusing.
Yes.
And I think it's done really, really well in this movie.
Yeah, and I'm only laughing because, yes, that's all true. But I'm laughing because I personally got confused a lot. But I get confused. I don't watch spy thrillers because I can't follow the plot. And I found It's What's Inside a bit confusing, but that it wasn't told in a confusing way. And if they had told it any more simply, I would have been like, why, like, don't, like, trust your audience to follow what's going on. Oh, Trash Goblin.
Trash Goblin.
Trash
number
Goblin.
3. There we go. There's the third one. I said there might be 4.
Yeah, so this is The Strangers Chapter 1. This was the worst movie of 2024, even more so than The Crow, which we didn't even finish. This was the worst. And I love The Strangers. And again, I didn't hate it because I love The Strangers. I just thought it was really bad. It was like, was it a prequel? Was it a sequel? Was it just a remake?
Yeah, they didn't know what they were doing.
No.
It felt like they just had no clue. None of the actors felt like they wanted to be in it. No, it was just, there was nothing
very lackluster
redeeming about this movie. And knowing there's 2 more.
I don't think I'm going to see them, to be honest. Yeah.
Night Swim.
Night Swim. Special place in my heart because it is a trash goblin.
It is a trash goblin.
But I would recommend it. So I don't even think it's Skip It. I think it's Trash Goblin.
It's Trash Goblin.
However, I would recommend it.
Yeah.
And I'll say no more. What are your thoughts on Night Swim?
It's rubbish. Night Swim is rubbish. It is bad. There are some like comedically bad moments for which this movie might be worth a watch.
Yeah.
Which I think is why Sass is saying she would recommend it.
Yeah.
But yeah, please don't go into this expecting anything else.
No.
Other than a bad film.
Really bad movie.
Yeah.
And in most places, it's not even so bad it's good, it's just bad.
It's just
There
bad.
are
It's
some
just, yeah.
places. And again, it has some messaging in it I'm not 100% on board with as a disabled person. So Trash Goblin, but I would recommend it as background noise if you were going to watch it.
Smile 2.
Oh, I like.
Smile 2.
Oh, controversial. I didn't like Smile 2.
I didn't like Smile 2.
I don't think I'd recommend it.
I just think the first one was better, and it was the same as the first one, really, but
it
not as good. Like they tried to do something different.
It took out all the good things about the first one.
Yeah.
I thought. Maybe background noise if you like Smile. But if you've not seen Smile and you're like, oh, because you can watch Smile 2 without having seen Smile.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't, if someone hadn't seen Smile, I wouldn't say, oh yeah, watch the second one. I would say watch the first one.
Yeah.
It's just a very different movie, and I think it stripped away everything that I loved about the first movie. And I know lots of people did like this, so I'm not going to say it stripped away everything that was good, because other people did like it, but it stripped away everything I liked about the first one and just made it like another movie that didn't know when to end. Yeah.
Next up, we have VHS Beyond.
Yeah.
Beyond.
Worth a
Worth a
watch.
watch.
It's hard to say because it's anthology. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You can't say missing that one thing because it's like, what would that be in an anthology
in
movie?
every VHS movie, there are good and there are bad. Some of them are mostly bad. Some of them are mostly good. And this is one of the ones that's mostly good. Heretic.
Isn't that one thing?
Missing that one thing.
And I don't know what that is.
No, I don't know what you could add to this movie to make it I think...
And I don't think it's 100% banger.
It's not 100% banger.
But it's better than
I couldn't recommend this movie to someone and be like, this is
perfect.
Yeah, this is the best thing ever.
Especially as well as what we've got in Banger. It's not quite on that scale.
No, it's not.
So I saw the TV Glow and Lit Up with the Devil both 10 out of 10s.
Yes.
I can't put
No.
Heretic.
Yeah, I think I gave Heretic an 8.
I think I gave it an
8. Which is what it deserves, which is really good.
It's a really good
movie.
It's
a really good film. Definitely go and see it.
It just kind of loses its way a little bit, I think. It's really interesting beginning, the philosophical elements.
The 3 characters in this are fantastic.
All
really well
amazing.
written, really well performed.
Yes. Hugh Grant is an excellent villain.
Give me more Hugh Grant horror, please.
He was sick. I really enjoyed him in this movie.
Hopefully production crews out there are looking at this Hugh Grant horror performance and thinking, we need some more of that in our lives.
I knew he could do it. When I saw him in the trailer, I was like, he's going to be such a good villain.
Yeah, very different movie to the last.
Literally the complete opposite.
Terrifier 3.
A banger.
Terrifier 3 is banger. Terrifier 3 is great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. You know exactly what you're going to see when you go and see a Terrifier movie, and this delivers it fantastically.
Yes.
It is the best Terrifier movie, I think.
I think that Terrifier 3 is a great blend of the first 2 movies. I'm not a huge fan of the second Terrifier movie. I love Terrifier 1, or just Terrifier. Don't really need to add the 1.
Yeah.
I love the first movie. Not a massive fan of the second movie. I think it goes a bit too deep without going actually very deep. But 3 is the best of both worlds.
Terrifier 2 for me was way better than the first. Like, I didn't really enjoy the first one. I thought it was a bit too slow for me, and not enough like plot devices to keep me attached to it. Terrifier 2 I really liked. I think the characters are great. They're really there. I like all the stuff they do to add to Art the Clown and give you some background on that. And then, so if whichever of those 2 that you like, and if you like them both even better, Terrifier 3 is still for you.
Literally,
so it speaks to kind of both ends of the spectrum, which he's done brilliantly well. I think Damien Leone deserves a lot of credit for that, for kind of realizing where people lay within enjoying his film and then kind of giving them what they needed from it.
And giving us just a excellent Christmas movie.
And it's a Christmas movie, which is great.
It is a Christmas movie.
Because it means we can watch it at Christmas. And we need more horror movies to watch at Christmas, please.
We watched so many, didn't we?
We did. Yeah. And that was all of our movies that we saw 2024 new releases. It is. I hope you enjoyed. Please let us know if you agree, disagree with anything, where you would move things to.
Or any movies that we missed.
Yeah, any movies that are not on there that you feel like we definitely need to watch.
Yeah.
Please put them in the comments down below.
Yeah.
Like the video.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. We'll be putting more tier lists out.
Yeah.
A lot of kind of games and things to be coming as well. More just general reviews probably. But yeah, thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye-bye.